So this is the some of the assertion, some of the tests like the snippet. They're good. Whatever we use, most often you use them. You don't need to be too much artificial because over 95% you need them basically. Not too much automation, not too less automation, but what you need, this is important. But next is we are going to the environment. Environment is a functionality of the Postman. That is, you can do so many things. You store the variable on the environment. You store the different environment date in the URL there. You can do so many things. This is the interface. Let's do that.
Okay. So now to create an environment, we have to click on this environments from the sidebar. So just click here. Okay. 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 So after clicking on this environment, then just click on the create environment. Then here you will be able to give the environment name. So we can give the environment name like say staging environment. Okay, just after giving the name, just if you click somewhere, just it will save the environment name. Okay, so we can just, this is how we can create multiple environment. Let's say create another one. That one is the test environment.
So environment, understanding the environment is very important because that's the where, remember we looked last week as well. Environment is where you make things separated from the actual testing, actual coding. So it is needed for the quality assurance. It is very, very much needed for the DevOps engineer because that's the way they know how things work. So if we are testing for the test environment, we give the appropriate name. So we are giving the two environment name. Okay.
Yeah. So we have two environments here, test environment, staging environment. Okay, and now let's say we are working on the staging environment. So in the environment here we can declare the variable. Okay, so the variable is nothing like you, if you want to store some information, and if you need that information in so many places, so you can just simply create a variable and store that information in that variable and just call that variable. So
Yep.
we are going
So
to do this.
you will be learning more details. At least the vehicle validation, the quality assurance, you'll be learning very, very, very details. But for the cloud ops, just to know, variable is just a programming language. They run their program and they run based on the variable. It's like a bucket. It just store the information. During the runtime, it can execute, or before the runtime, it can actually, you can declare it. So anytime you have to do something reusable over and over, instead of manually keep doing it, you actually can create the variable and you store that variable, the value that you can use many, many places. That's what we are going to do.
Okay. So what we are going to do, uh, uh, like we can see here that we have some requests here, like four requests. One is the positive one and just three negatives. So most of the requests have the common like value. We can see like this one, like the base URL. Okay, like our IP address, port number, then the slash API slash B1. So the, and also slash the field force. So these are the common for all the requests, and rest of the things at the endpoint. So this is the just different and for based on the request. Okay, so it will change. So what we can do, we can just store this information into a variable, so that if somehow it changes, we can just manage it from the variable. Okay, so just
Environment table.
simply, yeah, so just simply copy this. Okay, and go to the environment. Now here is the staging environment. Okay, then into the variable. So first of all, we have to give the variable name, the variable we want to call later. So just give the variable name, meaningful name, base URL. Okay, then this is the initial value.
Variable name always start with the small, and the variable, if the variable name is 2, like the first name, F should be capital, N should be F should be smaller, N should be capital. That's the industry standard. That's the programming best practice. So you know it. That's how you use it.
Yeah. then just paste the simple in that value we copy, and also just into the initial value and the current value. Okay,
Yeah. See,
so
there is
here
two way you
after,
can do this. There is two way you can do this. One is if you know the variable value, that's we know it. That's the one way Postman can store your variable. Another way is dynamic one. That will be learning as well that you don't know. Server is giving you always dynamic, right? You create the second time, it will be 55. Third time, 56. Fourth time, 58. So the variable value can be stored two way. One is dynamic, one is static. So this is the static. I know the value. Okay, good. Go ahead.
okay, now save the, click on the save, so it just save the information. Okay, now let's go to the request again. So here what we can do, we can just simply remove this. Okay,
So
so
now we are
now,
going to use the
yeah,
variable we kept created. That's it. So in the Postman, do the double curly braces, and you type the variable name.
okay,
That's it.
so here is the name, but it is not getting. So what you can do, we just simply from the right corner, just click on this no environment and just select the staging environment. Okay,
It is
and
just
here it
looking
is, you
for
can
where
see.
this variable is stored. So if you do not select it, it will be always reddish, means it did not get it. Once you show the variable where it's created, then the color becomes orange. That's how you know this. So now you can make the changes in each of the requests. Let's continue, make the changes quickly.
Okay, so now just simply we can just copy this part, I mean the variable, just copy the variable, and instead of the field force, just paste here and save. Just also paste here and save. Okay, so
Good.
now here we can see that if we change the information now again, okay, and send the request, see, it's working,
Good.
it's
So
giving us the information.